Throughout its vast, primarily residential landscape, the city of Minneapolis visibly reflects the social and spatial customs of post-war America. A pervasive, repeating pattern of 40 by 120-foot parcels defines a characteristic Minneapolis neighborhood. While the single-family suburban home may have been more accessible then, the cost of homeownership has skyrocketed over the past 70 years, making certain areas of the city completely inaccessible to working-class households and individuals, especially people of color.
The typical neighborhood structure has changed very little since the mid-20th century. The cultural significance of backyards plays a role, but the parcel is upheld most strongly by the city's minimum lot size, which requires residential parcels to be at least 40 feet wide. This means many people are priced out by needlessly large parcels.
This pattern is so pervasive, in fact, that only around 6,000 parcels in the city are smaller than 4,000 square feet. For reference, over 120,000 parcels are larger. What if the city had a finer grain? How can we achieve greater land accessibility, and what can we use to accomplish it? Property tax is often a major obstacle to buying a home and in gentrifying areas, keeping up with the cost of homeownership. In its current governmental role, property tax is treated primarily as a budgeting line item comprising about 1/4 of the city's budget. However, if property tax evaluation were to be entirely reworked, the parcel structure and the city's landscape could be made far more equitable and accessible. This intervention consists of two parts. First, an income-adjusted land value tax, and second, automatic parcel division.
Currently, property tax evaluation is based on factors like finishes, plantings, nearby properties, and school districts. Income-adjusted land value tax disposes of all existing property tax criteria, instead accounting for only two key factors: land area and income level. Under this arrangement, landowners are taxed a flat rate per square foot owned, and the amount per square foot is adjusted to income level. This way, taxes are proportional to one's income, rather than the current system, which puts people with less money at a greater disadvantage. In this example, one homeowner with the same income but half the size of parcel their neighbor has would pay half the tax their neighbor pays. Two homeowners with the same size parcel but different incomes would pay different tax rates depending on their income.
The second component, automatic parcel division, serves to make transferring land ownership easier and more flexible. Minimum lot sizes make fine-grained parcel division impossible, but in this proposal, every such parcel would be subdivided into 20 by 20 foot modules. Ownership would not change, but landowners would be able to more easily split and sell their land in configurations previously unavailable. This alteration to property geometry has a potential to significantly transform urban dynamics. The incentive of efficient land use combined with greater ease of exchanging land would yield a new, finer grain block throughout the city. Owners would likely wish to sell unused or underused land to decrease their tax burden, and prospective property owners could purchase land at a lower cost with a lesser tax burden than they would within the current model. A portion of a current lot, measuring for example 40 by 40 or 20 by 60 feet, could be sold and developed for more housing, allowing for more neighbors where construction is currently prohibited. This enables unique and more diverse living dynamics and arrangements not enabled by the Minneapolis 2040 Comprehensive Plan, thus going further to increase density and housing accessibility.
A large variety of lot configurations and property transactions may unfold. With less restrictions on where, how, and what one would choose to make of their property, there may be a large variety of dwelling sizes and types, property uses, as well as new relationships between property owners. Several homeowners may decide to combine their backyards to build a new park or greenhouse as this space goes underutilized for much of the cold months. Unused space in between parcels may be bought out to create a new commercial aisle or a corner market. A few busy homeowners with the burden of large lots sell their land for affordable developments to take place. Some may choose to buy 1 or 2 units of a parcel for a single small dwelling. As the block densifies, space may be bought by the entire block for a designated conservation site. Encouraged by the new tax model, these transactions become more frequent and common, and the previous inequitable structure of property dissolves.
The intervention brings economic benefits to both sellers and buyers of property. As parcels subdivide, the average cost to own land decreases as it is available in more fragmented forms. As the block conditions diversify, new paths and easements are negotiated so that all residents can access their lots. These access points and paths will shift and evolve with new property dynamics.
With new, close-knit property dynamics brings a new relationship of neighbors to the block. Unlikely proximities and paths may occur, and unorthodox companionships will unfold. This brings a sense of empathy for a diverse set of people that a property owner or renter would not have been exposed to otherwise. With such a novel disposition of many layers of people, dwellings, and property uses, there may be a shift towards acceptance of change and diversity on the block with the vitality that results from it.
Many Minneapolis residents rent their homes, and this intervention also addresses their predicament. Rental prices in Minneapolis are quickly rising, pricing many residents out of much of the city. Landlords are currently able to set rental prices as they please, with little correlation to the cost of maintaining the property. Simplifying the cost of land ownership could in turn change rent from a number to be maximized to something more closely related to actual costs. Rent would be solely comprised of land cost divided among tenants and a property and maintenance. The rest is identified as profit extracted. Landlords would therefore have less leverage to exploit the instability of renters, and densification is encouraged.
How people live and use land is ever-changing, and the built environment must reflect those changes. This intervention can help heal the scars of 20th century neighborhood planning to achieve spatial equality. Alongside the Minneapolis 2040 Comprehensive Plan, the city will begin to reflect contemporary social values, including the growing shared market economy. Disparities created intentionally or as a consequence of dated social customs will be replaced by a more diverse, densified, and accessible city for all.